Well, that new pavement up on Caleb Hill, did a drop of water on it.
It's red, we're on. Joking. Missed your calling tonight.
Oh, I didn't, you should have given me the elbow or something.
Give me the elbow. Yeah. Open this meeting of November 3rd, 2016. Let the record show that Selectman Scanlon is not present, but he is on his way. All right. First up, Public Works Director. Brock. Brock. All right, what's up? You got your little list here?
Yep.
Okay.
Then we do the week's events and...
R&D good with the temperatures for paving?
Yeah, they're gonna be for next week.
For the binders, no problem. That's 40 and rising. Surface is 50 and rising.
50 and rising. And I had Jimmy Hurst in my office today.
Yep.
And Jimmy said you can probably get away with a little bit of variance either way. He said,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you gotta be careful with it.
If it's like 40 and gonna stay there all day, it's like...
Yeah, but we've got this week coming up, we're gonna be in the 50s and whatnot, and then the week they plan on paving, I was looking and tentatively it says we're gonna have 50 to 55 degree weather the days they plan to pave, so. Now the sidewalks, they wanna pave the week after. So after they're done paving all the other stuff, and we're into almost Thanksgiving. And actually right into Thanksgiving. And Jimmy told me today that Northfield plant's closing on the 18th. And he gave me the list.
If you had to make a choice, I would rather pave the sidewalk.
Saying when they're closing all their plants. So you'll have to pull it out of Hooksett, and if it's cold, by the time it gets here.
Now they could, yeah, because I don't know if they'll buy off a Continental.
No, I don't think, yeah.
Aren't they in Concord?
Yeah. Continental's in Derry.
Oh, the plant?
Londonderry, the plant's in Londonderry.
Well, they had a...
They've got the new one in, I don't know if it's up and running yet.
Okay.
All right.
And you got Brock's and Hooksett.
Yeah, well, 6 of one, half dozen the other there.
Yesterday I was at the highway garage and Brock showed me this, where Kevin, the mechanic, speaks about on Wednesday painted a new shield on the backhoe and put the forks on the backhoe. In the arm of the backhoe, where you bring it up, it's exposed where what is it, a piston of some
on the
sort?
lower boom piston, which is the one that slides the lower, the T-fitting right there is exposed, and what they've been doing is they get down low and snap it off.
Right.
Off of the lower piston. So you'd have to change the fitting every... Well, Kevin said, well, watch this, and he built an actual plate that goes over the whole top of it, onto the boom of it, which protects it, but you can still get in there and change it if you need to, and gusset it all up so it can't... You could,
Does that void the warranty on that machine
absolutely
in
not.
any way?
No.
Okay.
Do we
It's
still
not
have
a warranty issue. It's,
Do we still have a warranty on it?
but you know the thing, there's not much of a warranty left, but, and if anything, I would think Caterpillar would be like,
Yeah.
geez, that's a good idea. Because it's saving a lot of wear and tear on it, that's for sure.
And I'm assuming that you're giving us this tire...
That was Kevin, I spoke with Kevin, we talked about the tire machine, and the course of this year and next year, it'll pay for itself with tire changes, and like he said, if he's driving down, if you have a cruiser come in, and it's got a bad tire, or it's got a wobble or something, he's gonna pay, or we have to pay, to send it up there with 2 guys to drop it off, whatever, have them look at, pull the tire off it, break the bead down, look at it, and by the time you're done, you're paying $150 for a tire, which we could have done for 20 minutes at the shop.
We got a machine down there, the last mechanic wanted, I don't think they've ever used.
Oh, well, to be honest with you, that one that's down there is one of the old, you can't do the new
She's
style.
talking about the transmission flush.
Oh, yeah. That's, That's another, it's never even been used, and
Can that be sold?
it should be, yeah.
Which is what Kevin had suggested
Yeah.
to do, to,
Oh, I didn't see that in
To
here.
well,
offset
he
the,
didn't put that in
he
here,
didn't put it in
but
his thing, but that was,
he verbalized it
yeah,
to us. and
discussed to offset the price of the tire machine. We could sell the transmission machine, which never even has been used. And the course of the vehicle's run, you would use that machine one time to flush the transmissions.
Could he look into seeing what we could get for the transmission flush to see what the
Absolutely.
actual outlay of our money would be
Yeah,
to
yep.
do that?
Yeah, that can be put right on the agenda, you can look at it, because where it hasn't been used, I don't see where we would have to take an awful hit on it.
Right.
I mean, I don't even believe that it's had the fluid put in it.
I myself think the tire mounting would really be a great asset to the garage.
Yes, it is, and it would, like I said, it would offset the cost of the garage immensely once
Once you get, right.
you've got, right now, what is it, 10 police cars on the road, that you switch.
I thought it was 50.
You've got 10
Wind
police,
her up tonight, please.
you got 10 police cars on the road, and each, you gotta change the tires in the summer, back to the winter. If you take it to the garage, that's $200 a car right there.
Right, and we're paying, and they're paying for that.
That they're
in the
paying
budget.
for.
Yeah,
It's almost cheaper to get
Winter
rims,
snows, right.
get extra set of rims and just on/off. But now, will the tire changer work on the big trucks, or will we have to send those to the...
No, the big trucks you're still gonna have to send,
Okay.
it's,
So it's pickups,
it's gonna be the pickups, the police cars, whatnot. I mean, you can get them that will do the big trucks, but you're into a whole
lot
different
of money.
level
that's fine.
right.
of price.
Are we gonna be able to get 2 or 3 quotes on a tire changer?
Yeah, I've actually got 2 right now, and there was one, the online quotes, I kinda try to stay away from just because of the fact, they have to send them to you, and once you get here, you got no idea what you're getting when you uncrate that. At least if I get it from Snell's, or in one of those, when it shows up, I can visually look at it and say, hey, look, this is all, so, this isn't right, take it back with you, and bring us one that's right. Where it's online, it's a big to-do to send it back, get it here, send it, it's,
So the average is 4,000?
for the pair of them, for the wheel, for the balancer and the tire machine.
Both.
Doesn't make sense to get one, not the
Not
other.
the other, right.
I agree.
Kind of go hand in hand with each other.
Can you figure, are we in agreement to go ahead and sell the other transmission flush?
Sounds
Well,
it.
it's brand new. We should get a good price for it.
That's what I think. I think you should be able to do all right with it.
I'm not gonna get what you paid for it, but
No, but you can,
Anything's better than nothing.
correct.
probably get, what, 2/3?
For what it's being used, anything's better than
What was it new?
$4,500. I think 38 to 4,
Well, even if it was 2,500, it's better than nothing, it's,
right.
but,
Always shoot for the best. though.
yeah, oh yeah, definite.
Jesus.
Yeah, I would say 38 to 4.
Yeah, it's been there for a while, I mean,
So,
How come we don't use it?
because you don't need it. They don't recommend you change the transmission, you flush the transmission in a vehicle for 125,000 miles.
What do we
By that time, most of the rigs are gone.
We don't have it, well, we got, what, a
that's-
couple of cars that,
Detail cars.
yeah, and
They don't last, they're not in rotation that long.
Then I wouldn't flush a detail car in.
so when we have a car come in, we have a car that needs tires, we don't send it up to Northeast or Belknap or someplace to have them deal with the tires?
Yeah, that's what we do right now.
But it
Okay.
takes 2 people, one to, because they leave it. They bring it up.
Another benefit I see to this, to be honest with you, is you could go up there at the beginning of the year and say, okay, I want to buy 10 tires for the police cars, and I want to buy a set of tires for the trucks. So we're going to buy all these tires at once, so now they're going to go, well, they want to buy all these tires, well, then we can sell them to you for this price and not
Right.
this price. You could, there's,
If that's how many we're buying already, we might as well buy them all at once.
Right.
If we
and
can
get a better price on it, all at the same time.
in time it'll get easier when we have all the same vehicle.
Correct.
Do you have room in your supply to keep that kind of overhead?
Yeah, there's
When
one.
you get rid of the purple bags.
I was gonna bring those up too.
We haven't made a decision. All right, so
So can we-
I guess we're in agreement to go ahead and sell the
Transmission machine.
transmission and see what we can get for it. And then next week, we could turn around, next week we make a decision to go ahead and, unless you folks want to make a decision now, to go ahead and get price.
No, good prices.
I got the prices, I have the prices.
I want to
I'm
know a
missing
little more
one.
about the machine. I'm just,
The actual machine, we want to see the actual machine that you're going to, the actual quotes
Do you
on the
want more
machines.
information about the
I'm
transmission
just a little
machine?
gun shy after the other device we bought that's sitting there that never got used.
We were told that it had to have it.
What was that?
The flush machine.
Oh, yeah, right.
We were
Well,
told.
the tire machine, it's a lot, the flush machine isn't practical. I'm not even sure why you would
Well,
even
you can
purchase
understand
that.
our position because we were told that we absolutely needed it and we
Had
bought
to
it.
have it.
Absolutely. Well, my thing is on the tire machine is tomorrow, say a cruiser comes in, it's got a flat tire. You just saved yourself $150 in man hours driving up there with two guys to drop a car off, back out over here, have the cruiser down for the day while they're fixing it, and come back when they could drive it down to Kevin, or get it down to Kevin, and in 20 minutes, the tire's back on, and the car's ready to go.
I like
And all
that.
you paid for was Kevin's time. Especially if we can offset it with the tranny flush machine.
I agree. All right, so you'll get moving on selling the trainee flush and then next week you have 3 estimates of actual
Tire machine and the combo, yeah. I'll have
quotes so
the-
that we can see
Absolutely.
each machine.
Yep.
Okay, good.
We can trade the tranny flush machine for the wheel machine.
That's,
A trade-in against, maybe.
well, the issue with that is I'm gonna have to find out where the training machine was bought from,
Yep.
so I can, if it was bought from Snell's or something like that, maybe we can work something out, you know what I mean? But usually when you buy something like that, and it's been that long, that it hasn't, they kind of, they're gonna be a little iffy about
Well, I can understand that.
whether it's new or not, you know, I mean, you can definitely tell that it hasn't been out of that back room.
Keep rubbing the salt in that damn wound. While Barker's here, has everybody had an opportunity to look at this layout for the election coming up next week?
I just had a question for
I'd like him to be able to go away with us approving it, so he'll know what he's got to set up.
He's meeting
He's
with
got a-
Chuck on Monday, right?
A lot of this stuff, they don't set up anyway, we set up.
Well, this is our decision,
Right.
so it's got to have our stamp of approval.
I agree with it.
What was your question,
Except to
Peter?
go over here.
I think
Block this off.
he has a typo, because he said Rob Berry would like us to come in early the night after the election. I think early the morning.
No, he called me about the after tearing it down.
Tearing it down,
They'd
they
like
want
us-
it done before
Yeah,
first block
they want us
on
to do-
Wednesday.
That's why he asked me to come in at 6 o'clock and take.
Yeah, but it says evening.
Well, yeah, they
Instead of the
want
morning.
us to do the same
That's
thing.
that's all. No problem.
They want us to do the same thing we did at the
Right.
primary, which is we broke it all down and set it out in the hallway.
Yeah.
As much as we
Not a
could.
problem.
And if we do that, they can probably come in at 6:30. Because I think they were gone before.
School doesn't start. I mean, they could come at 7. It's only gonna take them
I asked
15
him if we
minutes.
could come in at 7, and he said no, he wanted us in early.
But
Well,
that's
he's also thinking you're tearing it all down, and if we
Right.
get it torn down like we did at the primary.
Before,
just-
we're just picking it up.
You're just
you're
picking it
just-
up.
And we set it out into, the bulk of it was out in the foyer.
Right.
I'll tell him that tomorrow, I'll say,
Yeah.
listen, it's gonna be all torn down.
Tell him if he
We're
has
just gonna
questions
get
to
it.
come see me.
And
Yeah.
the way I was gonna put it to you guys is if I have to have those guys come in early with the overtime thing, I'll just let them go early in the afternoon.
Either way.
It's a wash.
Yeah, either way.
There's no overtime.
Do you want to look at this? I know I gave you a copy.
I got one right,
Did you bring it with you? Because they've got they've made a couple of suggestions already to change it.
Yeah.
I say I did.
The first one, you see behind the supervisors,
Just one second, Kevin, let me make sure I do have it, because
You can take mine if you want.
one right here. All right, go ahead.
so you see the rope that directs the visitors
Yep, is this a revised one of the one you gave me?
Nope.
So the lines that
We're
you
revising
gave
it
me-
right now. So you see how that corner only goes up part way behind the supervisors of the checklist?
Supervisors of the checklist.
Oh,
Oh, right
here.
here, yeah, I got it. See,
Yeah.
I don't have the one with the,
Yeah. See mine?
yeah,
See this rope right here?
yep,
Joe made a very good point, that even if we brought this out further and brought it up and connected it, so these observers are not
involved
mingling
in the,
down in here.
Yep.
So we've closed them off.
okay. Well,
I think that's a good point.
can I make a, I just,
Go ahead.
these guys, the observers are just here, they're not voters.
That's correct.
They're just people that are here from.
Or they could
like you
be
were
voters
saying-
that want to come, after they vote, they come back and they just want to watch it for a while.
So why can't we close this off rope this off right here at the chairs and say, that's what you
Well,
guys are
because
doing?
we don't need to. They can mingle anywhere outside this area, technically.
Okay,
This is the protected
That's the
area.
actual
This is where
protected-
people who have a ballot, they're voting
Yep.
and depositing it and leaving.
okay.
We don't want them to interfere with this operation. They have a tendency to gossip and visit.
Yep,
It was also suggested that these chairs need to be down here so they're not sitting behind those who are voting at these
Trying to-
tables.
right.
So either these tables go this way a little bit and these go this way a bit.
okay.
But we don't need to bring ropes all the way up here.
When you can just tie it off.
We can just tie it off
Right.
here so that anybody coming in, because you'll find some people will come in this way
Right.
and then walk all the way
So
around
you're
to vote.
suggesting from the corner coming down here?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, Joe did. That's Joe's good idea.
Block it off in some manner, somewhere along the way. And quite frankly, I like the idea of corralling the observers so they can't stroll behind the voting.
And bother the voters while they're, right, trying to make, yeah, I don't,
We
yeah.
don't
They
have to let them
certainly
walk.
can't come behind the ballot clerks, because each one that comes up to the ballot clerk needs to give them the name, the address.
And all their information about,
Well, they can't get in here.
No, but if
They
they're
can't
sitting
get in
behind
here.
the ballot clerks over here, where you're looking over here,
Yeah, they can't do that.
you can see that.
how far are these chairs from the actual
They're quite a ways.
Okay.
so they're not gonna be able to interfere
But
with,
Joe has a good point. There's no reason why we shouldn't corral them in.
Why should, we can't let
Yeah.
them wander around.
right, that's kind of.
We're gonna be busy enough, so that's not a bad idea. They have to have a way to get in and out, though. Just remember
Right.
that.
But if you
Well, what do
keep
you-
them confined to their space right here.
Right.
With, you know, instead of letting them come down here or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
If you go across here and here, then that's where they are.
See, they're normally in here, and then we corral them right in.
Right.
With a separate entryway
That's
in.
the way we've
But
done it.
because we've changed this, now they're out here, but we could put,
Just
definitely
keep them right
cordon
there.
them
You
off.
stay where the chairs are. You wanna talk?
Cordon
Talk
them
right
off.
there.
Absolutely.
Then you don't have uncomfortable voters that don't wanna,
Right.
or have somebody heckling somebody because or getting them to try to vote.
Well, they'll be ejected for that.
Is anybody gonna be able to be there Monday morning
Yeah, I
I-
plan on being
for
there.
the setup?
Cracko, what time did they open those doors, Peter? 7? 6:30?
I think they're planning on setting up at 7, aren't they?
7 is the setup.
Okay, well, I'll be there at 7.
I can probably help you also at the beginning.
If Mr. Mitchell is coming, that means Mrs. Mitchell is coming, and we make a darn fine team.
And then if 7 is the setup, and then 10 a.m. is the mock election, starting of the mock election, 9:30, 10, and Tammy has given approval for Peter to participate.
Oh, good.
Outstanding.
Yes, I just have to see Judge O'Neill in the afternoon.
Okay.
Sentencing.
Oh,
Or saying no and go to trial.
All right, so does everybody approve what we've just gone over for this?
We're okay with that? Yep.
All right, so that's official. That's the setup. Now, here's the thing.
I'll be there at the
The selectmen have approved this. That's our responsibility. You'll have people like, you'll have other election officials that might want to change this.
And that's not their purview.
Yeah,
It is
Yeah.
the selectmen's purview.
yeah. So when we get there
They have to get
Tuesday
our
morning,
permission first.
then they can run it by us. But until then,
I don't know what.
This is what we've approved. This is it. So we're adding a
Nobody.
cordoning around this
Clerk,
Almost a slide.
moderator.
and bringing that rope up to that corner.
No, there'll be, one of you guys, there'll be somebody there anyway that,
Joe will be there at the
I'm planning on
start.
being there Monday morning.
because I haven't even met these people. So I don't-
Okay,
Yeah.
Joe will introduce you to them, and, you know, all of them, and then we shouldn't really, there shouldn't be an issue. We've done this many, 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 many years, so
Yeah, no, I'm good with it.
I don't think that we should.
Yeah, Tuesday morning, we actually do the election. Joe and I are usually there first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I'll be there first thing.
However you want it set up is the way I'm gonna set it up, so. that's
Yeah,
as
well,
far
I'll
as-
be there first thing, and I'll show you where the bit, John and Fred know where these things go, and they can start setting up the booths, and then Kathy and I, or Catherine and I, whoever, will start setting up the tables and the
Right,
ropes.
well, like we
thing
spoke,
that
I'm
we-
gonna set the booths up tomorrow and make sure
Okay.
they're all up to par with.
There's a couple that need to be braced.
No, they were more or less up to par in September.
They weren't that bad
Yeah.
at the,
They might
I don't
need a
think-
well,
brace.
you can look them over.
Okay.
For Monday, that's a good opportunity.
Yeah.
I had to put a clamp on one of the curtains.
Yeah, you just may need some,
But I mean, if there's a little.
That's
something
about
I
it you'll need.
Sure. I'd
Joyce,
rather do it now than have to do it in the.
yeah.
Yeah.
did the school get the list of tables and whatnot that we need?
Well, they had it from last time, don't they?
Yeah, but they don't know. Okay, because you can see there's a few extra tables in this. One, two, three, four, five, six,
We'll be
seven,
fine.
8, 9, 10, 11. Looks like 12 8-footers.
Okay,
So, I don't have the other one, I thought I had it, to check. So, we'll probably get a lot of new people that want to register. So, I see table where new voters register, but when they come in, do they go right to the supervisors of the checklist?
Yep.
Will there be signs?
Yep.
Yes.
Directing them there?
Yep, they'll have their signs up.
And they're gonna be just up from where
And-
they were anyway.
and we have the best greeter in town to show them where to go.
Welcome to the
a
election.
good
Vote
greeter.
early, vote often, I always say.
He is a good grader.
Don't forget, Joe.
Go ahead.
You are a Tilton resident, correct?
That's right. Oh,
Remember,
yes.
the board authorized the moderator to appoint some ballot inspectors?
Yes.
Now, since they're officials, then they'll be back behind the ballot clerks? Because remember there's...
Those inspectors of the elections will actually be ballot clerks.
Okay, so they'll be back behind the,
They'll be within the voting area.
okay.
And we'll make sure they get every chair that they need, plus an extra.
That's all, I just didn't see it close to that. Okay. I think this is an improvement. It gives people more room to,
Well, you know what strikes me at first is that judging from the primaries and what we'll probably have for a turnout tomorrow, trying to get observers past that line to get to the corral in the old location, nigh on to impossible. So having them diverted over to the side, maybe that's gonna work a little better. And if Peter and I are out in the hallway, or one of us is out in the hallway, and, we'll be able to field these things and direct people where they need to go right out of the gate.
One of the things that happened at the most recent election that we're going to try to avoid is the ballot clerks were assisting people in wheelchairs. Well, the ballot clerks really need to be at their stations. So he's kind of looking towards the selectmen and other officials
I
like
was
that.
working
Yeah, you
wheelchairs
were.
like nobody's
So
business.
that none of the ballot clerks leave their post.
Even Cindy was on the ballot.
Now,
Was on a
will you be
wheelchair.
there Tuesday evening, correct? Or are you taking the day?
Tuesday evening.
Tuesday
We'll see if we
evening.
can
You'll
work
be
it
there
out. Tuesday
Tuesday evening?
Yes, Eve.
In the evening, and you'll be there Tuesday the day?
I'll be there all day.
I'm all
Okay.
day this year.
All day,
Yep.
okay, and I'll be,
This election.
all right.
I'll see if I can pull off a little earlier, so I can hit the rush hour.
The evening's, it's going to be crazy. The
Especially
biggest-
at the end will be key, because we gotta break down everything. so
5
we
to
can
7
get it out.
o'clock.
This will be our
Busy.
congestion here, is the people coming in to vote, keeping them back away from the ballot clerks so they're not bunching up, and keeping that flow moving.
Yep.
All right. Okay, next on your list.
I just have a quick question, and I know that you said under 500 doesn't need the approval of the board, but I'd like to make a change to the trucks, the small trucks, and put
The pickups?
these steps on it, just because I'm afraid that somebody's gonna slip getting into one of them trucks, and I'd rather spend the $400 on the steps than
If you've got it in your
$15,000
budget, I don't
for
think
a
you need
workman's comp
them.
case when somebody gets hurt.
You getting the steps that attach to the frame, not the toys?
Yes, no, those are real ones, those are steel. They got the traction.
They need to
brakes
be
on them.
heavy duty. I
And
mean,
I got them steel, so if Kevin needs to add to them, or we need to make them structurally more sound, we can...
Install a ramp.
Are those as safe as if you go to Line-X, they have the ovals that they're painted with the Line-X, so you got
I
the
think
grip?
those are more safe, and I can have them painted with Line-X, but those are like a grate that you walk on, and the stuff falls down through it so it don't freeze to them.
Oh, nice.
On a
Oh, they're
personal level, I would
perforated.
appreciate it.
But these really attach to the frame.
Those are-
Some of them just kind of attach to
And
the
up to the line
doors.
mounts, and they just clumsy. Those are...
Yeah, these are
Those are good
good
ones.
frames, rugged, not
They're
pull away.
They're wide, so
Okay.
you can get up into the truck. Before I make the changes to the truck, I wanted to run it by you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I just think it's gonna be safer. for
I know a
everybody.
lot about truck steps. Go for it, buddy. Sounds like a good idea to me. Somebody is gonna get
How many
hurt.
trucks are you doing this year?
Just the two 2500s. The rest of the big trucks have them.
Yeah, the 550 has it also.
Yeah, the 550 has the steps on it. But the 550 has the steps like you're talking about.
Yeah.
The ones that are bolted to the cab mounts, they're the chrome shiny ones that...
But if somebody look at them, see if those are oval and start to pull away. Doesn't take much.
The thing is if it ain't broke, well, it ain't worth... I mean, it's good for now, but these ones don't have
Replace them,
anything.
get the real ones.
Right, these ones don't have anything on them.
Now, I have one other thing to discuss about trucks. Christmas parade. We usually take the Peterbilt, somebody drives it.
Yep.
It usually was Arthur. Arthur's not with us. So it gets decorated.
Okay.
So can you find someone that's going to take on that responsibility? And
Absolutely. I think we've come to a consensus. I sat down with the guys that have been there a little longer wanted to change their routes because the sand route, you have to climb on top of your truck and kick your sand down through. And we got some younger guys that are able to do that a little better than the older guys are. So everybody was in,
I think they should be all sand routes.
oh, what?
All sand, if we're not doing salt on Summit, it should be across the
If you're
town.
gonna do,
ignore
that though, the thing is,
Keep moving.
yeah, okay.
Gonna be a long
We
night.
have aquifers all over the town, but we're only protecting one.
Gonna be a long night.
That's my complaint.
Gotcha.
I agree with them. I'd
Black
love
ice
it if we didn't
matters.
use salt.
all right, so,
True.
all right, where were we going from there before we got?
Decorating the truck for Christmas parade.
Younger
All right,
guys.
so are we all set with that? You
I
find
haven't talked
somebody.
about the parade, this is the first I've heard about the parade, so I will make sure, but I'm pretty sure John would be on board with...
It's just-
John's gonna take the Peterbilt. John wants the Peterbilt.
It's a December 3rd date,
First Saturday in December.
and it's in the evening.
Okay.
So you'd have to be at Union Sanborn by, guys, what time? 3:30?
At the latest.
Yeah, the latest, I forgot, they changed it so many times.
3:15, 3:30?
Well, we've got some parties that want to start a little early, some want to start it later, so I'm not sure where we're landing.
I don't know if those decorations were Arthur's or not.
Parks.
Well,
I will, well, I got you here, I will tell you, Jack's been driving the trucks, and he's getting the feel for it. He's a little leery about the Peterbilt, because the Peterbilt's got an 8LL in it, which is the easiest truck you can get to shift, but he's a little nervous about it because it's new, and he's like, oh, I don't want to hurt it. But they took him out in the International today, and he did real well with it.
Oh, good.
like in traffic.
They took him up and down.
Oh, well, good for him.
Every morning.
They grow so quick.
How's his
don't
walk
they?
around?
The first, he's doing good with it.
Love you, Jack.
Every morning we put him in it for an hour or so with somebody, so he gets.
Good, good.
But is the wing on it yet?
No, it's not.
That's the next
You're
step.
entering a
That's the-
different world when you put the wing on the ground.
All right,
Well,
moving right
even
along.
on the,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was a little distracted at the start of the meeting, Rob. Very nice report, thank you very, very much. Quick question now with the sidewalk, is this R&D's going to start next week with the reclaiming?
Next,
That
when they,
sidewalk?
No, roads.
the roads, they're gonna do the roads next week.
Those sidewalks have got to be done.
I need to address that with you guys right now. Like I said, in speaking with Jimmy Hurst, and I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Walcott, those guys do a lot of paving, a lot, and they pave for big paving. And when I spoke with Jimmy today, he said, if you don't get to those sidewalks within the next few weeks, don't do them.
They have to be done, though.
So, but we're gonna have to make, because I don't believe R&D can cover doing those 3 roads, reclaiming them and paving them, and still...
We can't get anybody else, so we have a contract.
That's what Jimmy
We've got a lot
said.
of prep work to do before they...
Yeah, that money is in a capital reserve account, is it not, for those sidewalks now?
Yes.
Like,
The monies for the sidewalk over here beside the river, we encumbered.
I believe so.
So we're all
Where
set.
are
So
we
if
with
we
the
do run out of
Yeah.
time, we can do them in the spring, because we don't have to
raising the
raise and
money.
appropriate it again.
and not using it.
But I'm
And
telling you,
not using it. I don't think we
You-
paved the sidewalks since I've been
Yes,
here.
but we don't use it for another purpose now, because it's dedicated.
And
well, I mean, that is true.
And-
That is true that we don't use it, but the Budget Committee has made it very clear that if we do not use that money, even though technically it is used because it's contracted out and we've signed a contract, so it is used.
the problem with the
I mean, that is a
contract,
difference.
what's gonna change in the future when we do pavement, is there will be a date on the contract that says if it's not done by this time, we can go elsewhere, and it's not on there. And I-
Fine 'em.
And I spoke with that,
Well,
and...
do you do that, or do you do liquidated damages?
Yeah, fine them.
Either way, we need to
You
get those
can,
things done.
but you're walking on a...
Where are we with the Porter
I've
pavement?
called Porter twice and nobody wants to call me back.
I mean, we cannot leave. All right,
The
go
one
back.
over here that's dirt's got to be paved.
All right, hold on a minute, we're talking about two different things.
Jimmy, and, well, not to keep bringing it up, but Jimmy said if you guys get in a bind, you call me, and I can take care of what needs to be taken care of. I will have somebody here to help.
We
How come
have,
they didn't bid on the road project?
He did, I guess he did.
No, they didn't.
no, we didn't.
Walcott didn't bid on
No,
it?
no, and I was talking to Bruce Homer's kid. I forget his name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
But we have to do something in the front sidewalk in front of Town Hall because of the state tip downs. We have a
Right.
mess out there right now. We have to do something.
And to answer your question, I think he did, but I think Busby was the one that bid on it. And Busby does the
Oh,
dirt
okay.
work for that, and
Okay,
it's
so it carries-
all encumbered into one setup. Like,
And I-
they'll give you a price for the paving, the dirt work, and everything all at
And I
once.
forget if they were on the list for the sidewalk. The sidewalk?
Okay, so, regardless of all that, what do we need to do to get that sidewalk done?
R&D's gonna have to step up. I mean, they're the contractor. If, it's not our fault that R&D took on too much work.
So,
Well, how long is it going to take to pull up the ramp and to dig your pit up?
If we,
Day.
when we get a set time for the
Today.
thing, we can pull that, we can do that stuff in a day and a half. I'm just giving myself a little extra cushion here. I think we can get it done.
Both things.
For the ramp and out front here, have we actually come to a decision of what we want to do out there?
I thought you were going to put in your French
The
drain.
drain, was that a,
well, we don't have many options.
yeah, we
But now
don't.
that there's 2 gutters coming down off that building next to us, we know what that's going to do to the sidewalk.
What if I went to the bottom of those, dug a hole, we put a culvert in there, set it down in there, fill it full of stone, let them drain into it with a cover on it. So I can put a catch basin cover on it, so if by some reason it freezes, I can pull it up and at least thaw it out, but we've got a way to maintain it if we have to.
If you're talking about over there where the tree used to be, put it in there?
Yes.
You could end up with water coming into the basement. It's not a concrete foundation, it's stone. No, it's just stone.
That's a good point.
So you've got to get that water
Away from that.
away before you start your drain, you know. And the drain can't be that, you know.
Can I ask a question? Is this gonna, I don't wanna Why wasn't this thought of to tie it into that while the ground was already up and the state was doing that over there?
We didn't know
have
he
to
was
gutter.
doing that.
You didn't, nobody
We
had
did
no
after.
idea.
No conversation. There was an assumption made.
So now we're on to the, who's gonna be responsible for this? Because if you guys didn't know, it's not your fault because the gutters decided to get put in there last minute after this was all done, so now somebody's gotta be held responsible
So-
for it.
Yeah, how could he put up a gutter knowing that it was going to fall right onto the sidewalk?
He made it, somebody gave him the idea that we were tying a drain into that catch basin, even though he, it goes all the way back 10 years. They have said over and over again, we cannot connect to that catch basin. They will not let us
They will
drill a
not let
hole
us
through the
drill-
side of it.
Connect to this.
They let us connect out here because there was an existing pipe already there, but they're not gonna have us
You
drill
might
through
have had a
that.
fighting chance when they had everything tore up. and
We
they-
did.
Oh, no, we asked them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't want to hear it at all.
No, they did not.
So-
It was not connected.
You have choices. We can tell that person, you're gonna have to get rid of those downspouts. You have, whatever you gotta do, but they cannot go over the sidewalk. If you're gonna have they're gonna have to go on the other side of your building. So, okay. Does that mean he can take the entire gutter system down and not even have a gutter system?
And then we go back with leaks and
I
all
don't think
the
he's
bricks.
required to have a gutter.
That's right.
Yes, but what about downtown? They don't have gutter systems. And
That's what I'm
I think the
saying.
gutter system is more of a convenience for him than it is for...
Right, so if we say that to him,
And if you push,
It's like the Koopa Falls on Everest.
okay,
you
but here's
have
the
it all-
point, here's the point. If we tell him, you've got to put your downspouts on the other side so they drain into earth, he could take his whole gutter system down and then we'd have a worse problem because it would be spread all over the whole
And
sidewalk.
Under what authority could we force him to move those
I don't think you
gutters?
can.
Because as an ordinance, you cannot drain your water across the
Into a
municipal
public way.
roads and the sidewalks.
but if you have them move it to the other side, you're coming up to the same identical problem on the other side. It's
No.
paved now.
No, he has a garden there, it's dirt.
It's paved.
What happens when the garden is frozen with frost?
Well, but I'm just making a point. So really, the only viable option is the under drain. And he should have to pay for that.
Well, he spoke with me out front, and he was not here and paying for that.
Well, I mentioned it to him, and he's going to show up tonight because he's not happy with, feels that we should be sharing the cost of it.
It's not our drain.
You still have to use...
His complaint was that our roof is running off there, and it's collecting his water. The share
We
the
share
burden of
the
the
drain in
water.
between the buildings. We should be sharing the drain, getting rid of the water off of his building too, because we share the, coming off of our building, in between the buildings.
So we
Just-
put a gutter system on our building that'll send it down to the back and go that way. I mean,
Try to
it's
get
just
somebody to
nuts.
put a gutter system on our building in between the alley. That's even more ludicrous. Can't get anybody to go in there to check bricks out.
Well, the bricks is different.
He owns the alley back there, why doesn't he you should cant it towards the back?
He doesn't actually own the alley. The boundary for the property is somewhere in between his building and ours, through that alley.
From what I saw, it was.
Our
yeah, our
boundary
building
is
was
not right
partially
up
on it.
against our foundation.
Doesn't have much over there.
No. Remember, that was two buildings. The inn was two buildings. There was a little house in between.
Doesn't he and Louise share that back alley?
Oh, behind us. I thought you meant the alley between.
Behind us?
We're
Yes.
talking about the alley between us.
Okay.
We're talking about this. But anyway, to the sidewalk issue, it's the under drain. That's the only solution to that,
Yeah,
is
I-
to drain it across the length of that
What
sidewalk.
you guys are saying, that's the only, and make the drain as long as you can make it without going, without,
It would be nice to be able to bring it almost over here, so that if
Which
we
isn't
could
a problem.
ever get one of them to say, oh yeah, dig into the, if they had to replace the catch
Correct.
basin,
which isn't a problem, but my only thing on that is what happens when, and it may not, and it could never do that. What if it freezes? We're gonna have to have something there that we can thaw it out if there is a problem. I mean,
Below the frost line.
it should go below the frost line,
We're
but
trying to talk about money.
you're not gonna send that drain down 4 feet.
that's the
You put enough pitch on it,
To make the water run, right, you put the pitch on the
you're
drain.
gonna use perforated pipe.
And-
You're gonna
oh,
use
yeah, it's
stone.
all gonna be stone and perforated pipe and fabric.
Not gonna freeze.
I'm just trying to say the worst-case scenario if it ever did happen.
You got a proper pitch on it, you got stone,
gonna be
it's not gonna
fine, I
freeze.
believe, but I don't want anybody to be caught off guard if it does freeze. I wanted to present that.
We'll just call you to fix it.
Oh, there you go. Yep. I'll have to get up on the roof and send a brick heater
We're
down
gonna
through the
go to
gutter.
all the extra expense of putting in an underdrain for the benefit of one individual. Shouldn't that one individual be sharing in the cost of this?
The initial cost, and I'm gonna be honest with you, of putting an underdrain in there
Not
is
gonna be
more
much.
labor intensive than it is
As far as I
cost.
know, we still pay labor.
Right, exactly,
So I know the materials are neither here nor
Right.
there, kind of.
right.
But there's still labor involved and the extra time, and the time, quite frankly, well, we don't have much time
We don't have
to mess
time.
with this. So, seems like he should have to share that burden, or be responsible for
Well,
what happens
That's
after.
gonna be solely up to you guys.
Share it, he's not willing to absorb all of the cost.
Pat, Joe, could I say something? The reason why we're putting the gutters up there is because Town Hall drains off onto the inn, then the inn was draining off onto the wall of Town Hall. We had water that came through the bricks and ruined the whole inside of the wall and grew mold a few years ago. We had to rip out our wall, we had to reseal it. We can't seem to get a mason in there to seal the bricks real good, and even when you do, with water coming off of the roof from the inn, that originated from our building and joined together, did it. So his water coming off of his roof is also our problem too, because it protects our building by having that gutter there. So we need to have that gutter there, or we're gonna pay a lot for
Can we
repairs.
remember just one thing here? Our entire roof is not draining onto his building. It's just a little short roof. This major roof is draining through a system there. We're just talking about what? This much roof is draining on his building?
Well, all the water from his building comes down on our wall.
Not anymore, because he put the
No,
gutter
we
up.
have a gutter.
Yeah.
But the sharing of the expense for, what, maybe let's just say 4 feet of roof is,
90-10?
come
I
on.
almost think you could eliminate the whole problem by putting the gutter on the other side. And it would be...
Well, it's like, what the,
That water's gonna run over there.
yeah, the same person dug up our sidewalk without permission because we were gonna pave it this year. Well, maybe it won't get paved. He's going to have to patch that in.
Is there a possibility of connecting that gutter in out the back and the conditions of the driveway out back and running it along and tying it into our end before it goes into the storm drain?
Ours is underground now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tie it into the system that's draining our roof because that's a lot of water and that's a lot of roof.
Well, I think we should probably talk to him when he comes in. He said he would drop in tonight.
Can I just ask two more quick questions? Has anybody heard from DOT, Bureau of Railroads, on when they're going to come back? And I only bring this up because people have asked me.
I
The
spoke
ankle
with them
biter?
last week, and they told me they were gonna be here Tuesday to do it.
And the
They say
check's
which
in the
week?
mail.
Yeah, and then, the check's in the mail. And I spoke I spoke to Porter, well, I didn't speak to him. I've got 2 calls into Porter and haven't had a call back from them either.
That was another one. And then the other one is, now, are they all done striping? Because I still see little white lines going up this way. Is that us or is that the state?
I believe this up here is... the
State.
No, it's us. We
It's
did
us,
that.
but I think the sidewalk's gonna be done before we...
Why are we striping on School Street?
I just saw little white stripes.
That's what you said last week. I told him that.
Why are
You
we
said you
striping on
wanted to
sidewalk?
define where there's no sidewalk.
Down at the end
The
of Main
sidewalk-
Street.
Is there a sidewalk up here that
up
goes
here.
across the municipal? I don't think he's gonna paint it, I think he just said,
No,
I'll
he
put the
just-
marks there in case somebody wants to do it. They were, and
A crosswalk across
from the
Center
municipal
Street.
parking or whatever,
Oh.
I don't,
I thought you meant the fog line up School Street.
And just the final one, and the reason this is important, because last week we had a bad trip and fall out here. but I noticed that where, right here, going into their parking lot in the back, the pavement, which is their driveway, is like completely broken up. It's like huge chunks. Like when you're going to be plowing, you're going to be plowing up chunks of pavement. And someone walking at night, because it's dark there, they're not going to see what they're walking. I mean, I don't think, it's in our sidewalk, but I don't think it's ours, because it's really where their driveway crosses.
You're talking about right over
Right
here?
outside here.
Yeah, I
Right
don't,
here or across the
Across the
street?
street.
I think
That's part of
that's,
our sidewalk project.
That is part of our
Yes.
sidewalk project,
At
okay.
least the sidewalk part of it.
Yeah, 5 feet of it is.
The apron.
Okay, because it's, we'll get that when you go up. That's all.
yes, no, yeah, I have
But we
noticed that.
need to find out when Porter, that's been ready for
Yeah.
weeks now.
Time I
It's-
spoke to them, they said they're aware of it, and they'll give us...
It's not for, yeah, and you've called them, it's not for lack of effort on our part, they need to get back to me, I can't,
Well, okay.
I can't make them call me.
All right. What else we got? Any other questions for Brock while he's here?
Did you get a chance to talk to the guy in Morrison?
I've got a cure for Morrison, I'm just waiting for a day when we can get the paving done. I'm gonna,
Yeah, I know you were gonna talk to him.
yeah, I
let him know, so.
haven't,
Okay.
I know I
can give
haven't,
him-
John.
I can give him a ring.
I haven't
I think
been
I
out there,
got
but
a
I do
number.
have a fix for it,
Okay.
and it's not a...
Band-Aid?
It's not, no, it's not a Band-Aid, it's gonna fix it.
Oh, good.
But it's trying to find the time with everything else going to,
I'll let him know.
okay.
I'll take
Yeah,
care of that.
and I'll
Yeah,
talk to him,
'cause I
but
got his-
usually when I'm through there, I don't know what he's on.
Odd hours, yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right.
Old Route 3,
Which section?
the runoff into the lake?
Daniel Webster Highway up by Winnisquam.
are we talking about the,
Yeah. Robert?
You want us to replace the sand?
you can't do that.
Okay, so our section of Old Daniel Webster Highway ends a long ways from the lake.
Yep.
And I looked at what he wants us to fix.
Yep.
That is the lake. The water is down on the lake right now.
Right.
You just can't back up to the lake with sand and dump it in there without...
We can't, yeah, I don't want to pay anything that's in the state's...
No, I'm not gonna...
Tell him,
respond.
have a conversation
That's the
with
high water mark, isn't it?
DOT.
He called me yesterday to find out that whether I was going to bring it up with the Board of Selectmen.
As far as I'm concerned, I spoke with Dari too. That's not something
Gary did
that-
not say anything, that words got twisted, by the way, in the email. Dari was not the one that said, oh, we can go up to 7 yards.
No, I know that, I know
Just
You
that.
telling
need
the board.
You need a dredge and fill permit, period.
Okay, but the town just isn't responsible.
It's not
Our
Yeah.
right-of-way, Daniel Webster Highway, ends what, 30, 40 feet from the lake?
It's further than that.
Is it?
Yeah.
So,
If anybody, I mean, and I'm not putting the blame, but all that water's coming from the state catch basin, except for what's
Yeah.
coming down. that-
and anything that's draining on our old Daniel Webster Highway
It's not doing
is hitting
that.
grass
Yeah.
before it gets to the lake.
You're absolutely
It isn't even gonna make
Kevin,
it
you
to the
need
lake.
us?
Kevin?
No, I was just registered in my car. I figured I'd listen in for 15 minutes.
Got it.
I love it, an audience.
Thank you.
Thank you, nice to see you.
Night, Kevin.
See ya.
Is it this lot or this lot? Okay, here's what is going
This is
on.
Winnisquam Market.
Yeah.
This right here,
That's
where
it.
he wants to put the sand is here. This is the only reason that you can even see that is because the lake is low. If the lake was that normal thing, you wouldn't even be able to see that.
It's just not our responsibility.
It's not our responsibility, and if you dump sand there, I can promise you that there's gonna be repercussions.
We're not
Oh,
dumping
you can't
sand
do it
there.
without a
There's
dredge and
not
fill.
gonna be-
We'd have to cross somebody else's property to do it, and that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, and then you'd have to take the fence down and go another
Yeah,
30
no.
feet beyond the fence. It's,
No,
Putting up a new fence to boot.
yeah, not happening.
exactly.
Not happening.
That's a navigable part of the lake
Who's gonna
too, so I don't
respond to
think you
this
can.
person?
Thank him for
Joyce.
his concern and give him the number of DES.
Joyce, can you respond back to him?
Yes.
Just let him know it's not our responsibility.
Yeah, reference
Short and
what
sweet.
you asked for him if he wants to go that route, but.
Short and
good luck
sweet.
with that.
Few words is possible. I have an email from Donald Trump. That's frightening.
Make you feel good?
No. Yeah, if it was Vermin Supreme, I'd feel
I
great.
like Vermin.
All right, we're all set with that? So we're all set with you?
So call Mr. Roy.
Perfect, we're done?
All right.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Good night.
Thanks, Bob.
Yep, see you later.
Are you from the Lobster Connection?
Who's Eric
Mine.
Trump?
Mr. Connell, Mark
Conley, okay.
Hi, folks.
How are you?
Good evening. Yeah, I've owned the Lobster Connection. I've seen some of you guys before, and I've been down there since '95. And the issue is putting the no parking signs going along that median, and it will definitely impact my business, but I think there's a better way of approaching the little bottleneck of traffic down there, rather than putting no parking signs up and eliminating and causing a real issue. I don't know if some of you have seen what happens down there with my place in the summer, but it's a very busy spot.
Well, the problem is people are parking in the road.
I know that, so I think there's the best solution, and there's one thing that would really enhance this, is the median's the problem.
Well, the median's the state of New
I
Hampshire.
understand that. Is the sidewalk the state? If you eliminated the sidewalk
What side?
and allowed the cars to gain that space of the sidewalk and put parking all the way down there, even if you put meters on that and put 50 cents an hour or something, it would allow people to still park there. You wouldn't block the road at all, and you put a time limit. So what happens a lot of times is these people are coming and they're hopping on boats with their friends that have boats, and they park all along there all day, and they pick them up on the dock down by the Windsquam Bridge, and they leave the car there all day long. All right, and it goosed my customers up, because now they don't even have a place. So if you put a time limit on it, those people aren't gonna be leaving their car there all day.
Well, we can't create a parking space in the road. And we can't remove the
You eliminate
median.
the sidewalk.
What sidewalk?
There's a sidewalk right down on the inside of that median that no one uses. And if you took that out and allowed the cars to gain that space, parking, you wouldn't lose anything in the road,
I don't
and
recall
everybody
saying
would win. The residents would win, the people parking going to the Winnisquam Market would win, but the biggest thing, I think, is to be addressed is in the wintertime, because with that median there's no place for the snow to go on either road, the main road or the inside, and sometimes the snowbanks are 10 feet high, and you can't even see, not just my customers, anybody there, you can't see to get out. So my suggestion is, contact the state, take the whole thing out, put a guardrail down there, and gain all that space for the residents and the businesses that are there to park, meters on it, everybody's done, and it's a safety factor in the wintertime.
The state won't get rid of the median.
Well, then, let's get rid of the sidewalk and gain...
Is it a raised sidewalk, or is it
Yes.
just a white line?
It's a raised...
Granite
sidewalk.
curbing?
Yes. It's
Wow.
like 200, it goes in right in front of my, it goes from the old Adams Marine
Right there.
and goes down to the opening coming into my place. Then it
Median's
goes
on the
from there
left.
down to the bridge, and there's not another sidewalk from here to the mall. Well, come on. It's really gonna impact my
But
business.
the sidewalk's only 5 feet,
Yeah,
right?
you're gonna lose 2 feet rather than the cars parking beside the
So you
sidewalk
don't
that-
take footage out of the road.
You're not taking any footage out
Well,
of it.
5 foot is not,
2 feet, maybe?
Enough
but
to
you're
make a
not-
parking
Here's the
space.
sidewalk. What I'm saying is, here's the sidewalk, here's the main road. The cars park here now. If you got rid of this, the cars could park here. Yes, you might lose 3 feet of that,
You
but
can lose 3 feet, and you can't lose 3 feet in the road.
you
they
can't
park
take,
there anyway.
not anymore.
Not anymore, because we have no parking signs up there.
Catherine, who owns the
You're not
sidewalk? Is it part of the
understanding.
state's island, or is it,
I don't know. It's not ours.
where's your plan?
It's gonna impact my business.
It doesn't show a sidewalk here. It just
There is
shows,
one, I can see it.
it shows the median strip, that's it.
I think what will really happen is people that have been coming there for years and years and years are gonna park there. And then they're gonna get no parking tickets, and then it's gonna cause an issue. So let's just eliminate the issue.
How many parking come on this end?
I put my truck up there, my lobster truck, just up to see how much it would come over onto the road if we put it on the sidewalk, and it was this far. Instead of having it 8 feet over from the sidewalk, you're really gaining road access, eliminating the sidewalk.
Yeah, there is a sidewalk.
Oh, yeah, I've got it on Google Earth. I mean,
Yeah, too.
It's wasted space. It really
We have to
is.
find out who owns it.
Yeah. Because they gotta do work down there. I think they're gonna be doing gas lines and everything. The perfect opportunity to get right in there and get rid of it.
But that sidewalk isn't part of these plans.
Nope.
Well, do you have a width of the median/island, whatever you want to call it?
No.
Not on this.
We've got to have it somewhere.
At least 8 feet wide.
Should be able to measure their right-of-way and determine if it falls, the sidewalk falls on our side or their side.
And if you had a time limit on those parking spaces, it would address something else. Because people aren't gonna stay at my place for more than 2 hours. So if you had a 2-hour limit, they can come and go and do their thing, and the town gets money for it too. I just thought it would be a good time to address it now before we opened up in the springtime, but I think we can get something done. Rather than having an issue and then have to backpedal.
We know we can't take the median out. That's the state's. We have to figure out whether the sidewalk is ours or the state's.
But they've even taken the sidewalk. It's a strange place for a sidewalk.
Right, if you take
But
the
it isn't gonna
sidewalk,
gain
you
us
still...
anything.
If you take the sidewalk, you still need another 3 feet. You can't cut into
Yeah, I
that
know,
3
but
feet
right-
in the road.
But they're taking 8 feet from the sidewalk now, so you're losing the cars parking there.
But they're not gonna park there anymore.
I'm just telling you.
Not after they get ticketed a couple of times.
Well, then you're impacting my business that's been there 21 years. I mean, there's a line out my door, and they have to park somewhere. And they're not in the, those people know to leave this, it's not the customers that come to my place that are blocking that road. It's from down there, those people who leave their cars there, and the place that works on snowmobiles and everything
Do
else.
you have any parking at your business at all?
Yeah,
Little bit.
Customers?
yeah.
How many?
Oh, 10, I think.
On the side of the building, or?
In the front. In the front on the pavilion and on the side of the building. But it's something that's been used for 20-something years, and it's gonna, it will cause a problem. I think we can do a better usage for no parking. There's a better place. Would it be worth going down there some, and taking a look?
No, this isn't telling me the width of that median.
Who's this guy?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got them right here. Put them on the inside.
Spare.
But I gotta tell you, this plan does not show a
That's a
sidewalk.
sidewalk. It's all sidewalk all the way down. Now, if you took it out, I bet the
This is
town
the
owns to
bridge.
that light pole.
This is Welch's, this is the
I bet
lake.
the town owns it. You
This is
gain
the
the whole
bridge.
parking space, taking that out all
Over
the
here.
way across there. A simple solution.
Here's here's the market, there's the post office, there's the trailer, so they're right about in here.
I'm right after
this right
Adams
here?
Marine, yeah, that's me.
This is you?
It's not going to show Adams Marine on this.
Not anymore.
Because these are-
This is the property right
These
here.
are,
This is me right here. That's the restaurant, and there's a little garage pavilion there, and that's the main house down there.
Okay, here's the garage.
All right,
Goes up
and there's
over
a
the
parking.
bridge.
I haven't got a clue. It could
Right
be
here,
it.
from right here, and there's an opening, so from right there to there, and then from right there to there, there's a sidewalk. And if, I think you guys own to that telephone pole, and I think there's a whole parking
Just
space.
paved.
I think that was put in for the bridge.
Yeah. To
What a
go,
good way to get rid of the snow.
Because we've
That's the
tried
most
to have
important
them
thing to
put
me.
in
I
a
would think
sidewalk
The state would want to, you wouldn't believe in the wintertime. The state piles it up and the town piles it up
for
on the
years, and then we
inside.
gave up.
Then no one can get out. So I think,
where
it-
is
you
that the
know,
old gas?
a good way
I
to
don't see one
approach it
across
is
the
just
driveway.
the safety thing in the wintertime, which would benefit us a lot in the summertime.
Where did you put that? No parking, all the way to
I'm not sure. I know that they put it along here, and I don't know how far down they
We put
went.
signs right from there, and afternoon, there, and there. The signs aren't on there yet. The posts are there, but the signs-
You know, it is, it's a traveled way for two-lane traffic.
Can't take the road, we cannot take road space to, I mean, how, you see the road is a little bit wider than it is over here, but how wide is it here?
Where?
It can't be
At the
more than 8
beginning?
feet right here.
No, that goes right into the road kind of cuts in front of his display here. This was the old route right here.
Old Daniel Webster Highway, that's what that was.
Right.
Huh?
But this can't be that wide here, it's wider over
That's-
here.
That orange line doesn't go all the way up to it. That's the road where they come in here, it goes right through.
Yeah, I know it does goes right
And the
through.
sidewalk starts right where that median starts, but that's the old road that goes
How
right.
wide a road?
But I
do
think if you
it
look
is?
on
20
his,
feet?
I don't know how wide the roadbed
That-
is. I mean, this,
I bet that
what
telephone
we
pole
own,
has been
you
put-
can see is much
the light
wider
pole
than the
probably
road.
put right on the.
The footprint of the road is out here.
Right.
We own much further than
Much
what the
further than
road
what the
is.
road is, I know that. But I'm just trying to gauge how
you made
wide
it-
the road is. If the road is 20 feet, there's no way we can take 3 feet of that.
well, if you made it a one-way road heading toward
The light?
Squam Market, that way also, wintertime, you're coming out at the light where now you'll be able to have the visibility.
That
You
would
know,
be-
that's not a
that
bad
would be good
idea,
way to
because
do
it would prevent people from trying to enter Route 311
Yeah.
Right.
from the unlighted end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way.
That, with that, if
It
you
also
had to
gives-
take out the sidewalk, fine, between the two, you'd have enough space.
Yeah,
Well, we'd have to find out if it's ours or theirs.
You beg for forgiveness afterwards?
I don't want to take out DOT sidewalk. You know how they are with bridges, they've got to have a sidewalk.
that's an incredible piece of sidewalk, for 6 miles.
Have you ever called up and dealt with the state?
I've never seen the issue until the first little paper sign went out there. It was never an issue.
I've dealt with them for about 8 years now. It's quite an experience.
Yeah. I think if it was addressed with the state, with the snow removal aspect of it, it would be something they'd have to
Just don't think you understand their way of thinking.
Yeah, it's done and it works.
What we
and
think
everything
is most logical way of doing things may not be the most logical way of their doing things. It's so,
Okay, this shows granite curb on the inside
okay.
of that median.
All right. But how
But
wide is the, all right, how wide is this right here?
that's Route 311.
Right,
This is where we are.
okay, so how wide,
I don't know.
what's this right here?
Here's your scale. 20 feet and an inch? Is that what I'm looking at?
Probably.
You got a half inch?
But I don't know where the road ends in relationship to some of this stuff.
I think it would be a good usage to take that sidewalk out and put spaces there. I think it would accommodate a lot of people.
If you think about it, it isn't gonna matter if you take the sidewalk out, because
Why would it matter?
Because you can't take footage from the traveled way to make
If
a
it was a
parking
one-way
space.
road, you
Well,
wouldn't
that's
need it.
another option. And
I mean,
the,
but 2 feet is better than them parking 8 feet out. They've been doing it for years.
you know,
And
that's,
it's really not an issue, only a couple times. I don't know who complained, but somebody did.
I
But it's
complained,
really
I complained.
to the town.
Yeah, right here. I
No,
brought
it's
it.
a pain in the butt. It is for me too.
Well, I can tell you
Because
one time.
They take advantage of that little thing, so I think if there was spaces with a time limit that they couldn't stay there all day, then you take it out.
Well, see, I came in, stopped at your market, left, because I always use the light to go out. When I got towards the stop sign, the truck in front of me stopped at the stop sign, got out of his truck, and I said, "Hey, you just stopped in the middle of the road." He says, "I'll be right back," and he
I
went
know
into the
that.
market.
I know that. It
And
doesn't,
I actually waited for him to come out. I wasn't done with him.
I've had that happen before, but that, again, that's something down at the market. And it
But-
doesn't impact my restaurant, so to take and block the whole thing, no parking, impacts my business.
Well,
It really
the
does.
point is, you can't have people parking on the road.
Well, then designate it 50 feet away from that a little bit better.
Well, I think
But if you're gonna do
Peter,
that, just put some designations on.
Peter might be onto something.
Huh?
If we made it one way,
How much
and we
traffic,
pushed
you
it
know,
to
one way
Route 3,
versus two way is gonna,
if you pushed the road, the one lane
come in this way.
towards Route 3, so you'd come in one way to the lights,
Yeah.
to the store, that would gain you parking.
Come in from the
Parallel
Tilton
parking.
side to go to the store.
Yeah, as I'm headed east towards the bridge,
Yes,
I'm
going
gonna
through it.
slip in,
Yeah,
and it's one way at that point,
yeah.
to the lights.
Yeah, and a
All the
lot
way
of
to,
people leave from my place, and they go down to the store to hit the light to go back.
I do that.
it's easy, yeah, 'cause
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
It's a safer act.
So if you did that-
And increase the parking spaces and get some money for it, everybody wins. I think it's a good
And you don't
move
have
for
a turning
everybody.
lane.
And it's not just impacting
good
me,
point.
it's just.
You could
it will
have-
We
impact.
put meters up
As
there
far
and
as
got money.
here.
Do you know how many people
there's no real
around
access
town
to
would
it
say
in
you're doing
Yeah,
it up there, but you're not doing it downtown? Come on.
Is there another one? Oh,
We're gonna
yeah.
have to put
Okay, so
something
you do
so they
one
can
way
put
up
chalk
to
on the
here.
tires.
You're hurting us here.
It's wider there.
Uh-oh,
Oh,
I'm trying to help.
Right,
The police
Here,
officers have
one way.
enough to do. They don't need to go
One
down
way.
there and get tickets for parking.
this is
It's a
all
lot
one way
bigger.
going that way.
They're gonna get
Then you can
cold
get the
chowder.
people that come in here, you got a wide enough road. Also, the looks are deceiving, but
John's onto something. As he just pointed out, if we made it one way all the way through, then people who wanted to access, and there actually are people that
The
live down
condos
past the
and-
marina,
Right.
for them to turn in, there's no turning lane really.
You turn right into the market.
No, if you're headed west. But we could make the first section one way, which would be past your
The
store.
out area in front of my restaurant?
so if you look here, you're here. Who's here? Okay, if you look here, you're here,
Yeah.
right? This is the narrowest part. If it was one way going this way to right here, this way is wide. There,
wouldn't
you
solve
could
its
still allow the
parking
parking and have two-way down here.
Yeah,
because
but this
people
is,
can-
no, you know what,
not gonna solve
this is very narrow here too. Right where that
Just
hole
to
is,
see
just as narrow there as
It's the
here.
picture that makes it fine.
Yeah, that's where she's talking, that she went down to the light, and in front of the snowmobile place, the guy parked right there, and then there were cars parked over here, and she couldn't get by.
The hard part is if somebody needs to get into this residence here,
Could go right in here.
if they're coming this way,
So
how
They have to turn in,
people
But there's no,
do come
the
down
state won't
here
allow that,
and
'cause
turn
there's
in
no
here.
turning lane there. That's the way they are, so.
people right now come
They
by
come
this
in,
median.
they come down, and they
And
turn
turn
in.
into my place, right here.
For the people down here. you
So
know.
what
Those
you,
people
what
that
you,
live
this is
down
what you
in
do,
here.
you make the whole thing, and it's only one way in.
I mean,
And then
I-
the people
I do
leaving
that.
my
If
place
I'm
have to
headed
go
home,
down to the light and go
and
out.
I want to stop at the fish market,
So
I
this
go
is
down
only
and I
one
turn
way
in
in.
here. I don't deal with this
Then
congestion.
everybody has to
I
go
turn in there.
to the light to get out. And that would still serve the purpose.
I think we first need to establish who owns the sidewalk. Then I think we need to establish a meeting with the state to try to find out a happy medium here. To see if there is a resolve that they can do. We're saying that they won't take out the median, but we don't know until we ask.
Right.
Oh, they're not going to take out that median?
They might put a guardrail in.
They're not going to put a guardrail in.
Think about it. I'm
Trust me, they won't put a guardrail in.
Coming in there.
Nothing they have to pay for and maintain.
Yeah.
So easy for a front-end loader.
Do you know how much cheaper it is to maintain grass than it is guardrail?
My thought process in this whole thing is the state's not going to budget.
Exactly.
That's my thought process. But we really do owe it to our business owners and residents to at least try.
I think the one-way is the way to go.
But we can look at who owns the sidewalks, and then we can try to figure out, go up and take some actual measurements of the road, and then all of us go up and look to see if one-way wouldn't work. I think those are our options,
I
right?
think one-way is going to help everybody
I
along
think
there.
that's a good.
We're not gonna
Because you're going to gain that whole traveled lane for parking.
Yeah.
So
They
you-
can still turn in, but don't have them be able, the cut through in front of my place, have them not be able to go back out that way.
Yes, that's right.
Have to go down to
To
the
the
light
light.
to go out. So it's only one way in on both of those roads, and I think that would work.
I think we should go down there with the police people.
What happens if the sidewalk was on the other side of the road? You're still accessing everything. You can put a crosswalk right there to the store. And now they've still got the sidewalk.
Well, the sidewalk's orphaned.
Because no one uses it.
Sidewalk put that in because of the bridge.
We'll see if
Whenever they
we,
do bridge work, they put in sidewalk.
Yeah.
we'll see if we
You
can't
see
get in touch
sidewalk
with the
just ends
state
right
and
there.
ask
Gets
them
orphaned here,
if they have any plans
and
that
there's nothing over there.
figures out if we own the sidewalk or not, and then
That's strange.
see if they can't entertain a conversation with us down here.
Down there. Yeah. Would
Set
I
up
be
a
able
meeting
to
with
be
them.
there too?
We can let you know.
That would be wonderful.
It won't happen overnight.
I know that.
And then we can come back as selectmen, because some selectmen work during the day, so this will all happen during days. When we have to come back to the selectmen's meeting to really hash it out between us and make a decision one way or another.
Still.
Which will take some time.
Come down this way and
So-
turn in here. I don't
I
deal with
thought
the
now,
congestion
instead
there
of
'cause I
April,
go to his fish
might
market
be a
all the
good time to
time.
get it rolling.
I come in and I cross
And I
the
saw
traffic.
them
just-
painting stuff,
yeah, the
that
only
they're
thing
gonna
would
do
be
some
heavy
digging
traffic.
down there.
Because I can get into this
On the
meeting,
gas line.
and
people
these
can
guys can
slow
pass
the
me,
sewer line.
and I just have to
See,
wait
that's
for
what I
this lane
was
to
too.
clear.
It's gas,
Good
right?
seeing.
Yeah, it's the gas lines. So
Do we know when the gas is?
Isn't that,
Working on it right
I was
now.
just say, isn't that what Midway Construction's working on over by the Shalimar?
I think it's gonna be a win-win for them.
We're going this way, though.
We either.
Well, they may be
No,
doing,
it's us.
No
yeah, they
parking.
may be doing sections, I don't know.
Make it one lane,
I-
and then they're gonna gain parking.
I've just seen it driving by.
Yeah, they get it too.
Well, I appreciate you guys seeing the situation, because I know it's an issue, and I think it can be fixed a lot better and make it accommodating for everybody, and allow me to continue growing the business and feeding all the vacationers and residents in the area, rather than having them get pissed off at me.
As long as you keep having the best steamers in town, I'm good.
I think good, huh? But I thank you for your time, and yeah, contact me as soon as you can, and I'll make the time that I can get up there and be part of it,
All right.
make it work.
We'll do.
All right,
Do we have your contact information?
Yes.
Did you get that? All right, good. Thank you.
all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for coming
Yeah,
in.
thanks.
Okay? Thank you, man.
All right,
Button on that.
Joyce, moving right along.
No.
Oh, my God, we're on there.
Just
yeah.
jinxed us.
Coming across the street.
Hi, Jane.
Turn my little map back.
Yes.
It's only I have.
Keep his number.
Bring
Numbers on it.
Plan.
Every once in a while, he'll
Yeah. Oh, Quay Hog's up there.
Set up the meeting with clams and seafood platters. And- Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'll
Best
call Mr.
around.
Robert.
Yep.
I received a call from Trinity Church yesterday, wanting to know if there's still any interest in sitting down with them and contacting AT&T, see where they're at.
There's always interest. I mean, if,
Yes.
okay,
All right, so he's going to get back to me.
yeah. I'll meet with them.
Sidewalk, okay, I'll need a brief non-public to,
He doesn't want to go in the building.
I know, I do.
Why is that?
But I do need a brief non-public on offer to settle.
Okay.
One of the tax cases. Here, we did the local election. We did that. When Tim comes up, we'll talk about solid waste. I didn't get a chance to work on the proposals for health insurance towards the end of last week and this week because it's just kind of been busy. We've been working on solid waste. So Tim and I have made a good start on it, but we would hope to have something to present tonight so you could at least look at it and then we could talk about it next week. But if we get something together, we'll get it to you before next week so you have an opportunity to look at it. One of the things that is coming up, yes?
With regard to solid waste and sliding over to recycling, I noticed a lot of barrels with yellow stickers on them today. Is that because after 3.5, 4 years, people still don't know how to recycle? Is Casella much more strict than they used to be? Do they have a new person?
They're cracking down.
They have a new person.
Yeah, both.
And the supervisor was driving them today.
Well, the way it's going, nobody's going to want to recycle anymore. I mean, I don't know what the answer to this is, but we're supposed to have 10% leeway.
People are very frustrated, Joe's right.
Oh, I know they are. I mean, they're making it increasingly difficult. I actually received a call from one individual today
An individual called me as well.
who swore to God that there was and they emptied their entire barrel and told me that there was one thing that was non-compliant in the entire container. Halfway down through the container, which I know the Casella guy didn't look for, and they still stickered him and left his stuff. He in turn replied that that was the last GD time that he was going to put stuff in a recycle container just to have to take it all out again.
It wasn't a recycled.
They're killing us.
Pardon me? It wasn't recycled.
Well, that might be his problem right there.
Yeah.
Might have been stickers.
Next week is recycle week.
Why would they sticker
Last
it
week.
if it wasn't
It
recycled?
just said out of compliance.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, it never dawned on me, but I knew darn good and well this wasn't recycle week. Okay. I know what to tell this guy,
They
and
must have seen a plastic bag somehow.
Well,
it's not recycle day.
that's,
Well, on the other hand, why didn't
Why?
he just dump it as garbage?
No,
That was too big.
why even bother? Just go by because it's a non-recycle week.
There's no size constriction.
On the trash cans, it has to be set to...
The 55 gallon is what it was. You could use one,
33 gallons.
33 is the
You
maximum,
have 5 of those, so, I mean,
it's the maximum size for
that
trash.
96-gallon barrel is only 3 bags.
but they have been Joe is right, they have been stickering
Yeah.
people's recycle bins.
If they had just said, not this week,
Right.
all right, the guy would have went, oh, well, not this week, I made a mistake.
Or just
Hey,
leave
I've
it.
brought mine down by mistake and it's just still there full and I go, oh, must not have been recycled. Pull it back up.
I had that problem once. I didn't do it again, but,
Yeah, I just brought it back up. They didn't sticker it or anything.
well, these were
Done a
stickers.
couple times.
That's why I'm thinking it.
And it's the wrong day, so, okay, I know what to tell them, and let's just move right along.
Okay, in August of this past year, a law went into effect that all veterans, as long as they've received an honorable discharge,
Yep.
are eligible for to apply for the $500 tax credit, veterans tax credits.
Who passed that?
Okay,
Legislature.
State legislature?
they're eligible to apply, but is it the same criteria? The same wars, the same,
Yeah, the existing law doesn't change, it's just that they apply the existing law to all veterans, as long as they've been honorably discharged.
Okay, good for them. Good for
And so
me.
we have to amend it would take a,
okay, I guess I'm still not understanding, because right now, all veterans can apply for the veterans credit.
right.
But you
Okay.
have to have served.
But you have to be eligible.
Areas.
Yeah, there's a certain criteria of these conflicts. So those certain conflict areas still apply.
No, if you're a veteran and you
They
can
don't
produce
apply anymore.
papers, you can receive the credit.
Okay, that's what I was listening
All
to.
they changed in that law was just all veterans.
So they don't have to have been in Korea or whatever they are. They can be just honorably discharged veterans. Well, hallelujah, that's about time.
Now, so some towns are doing it by petition, others are just automatically putting it on the warrant.
Let's put it right in the
It's no
warrant.
different than when we changed our exemption amounts
I
for our
agree.
elderly.
We shouldn't make them have to petition it. I-
We'll let the town vote on it.
Put it in the warrant. What does everybody think?
Now, to determine
We got them, yep.
Put it in the warrant.
determine what the tax impact would be, because this is a credit, it's not an exemption. Did I bring my MS1? I think we give about 98,000 a year now in tax credits total for
For
our...
veterans?
For veterans.
This seems
which is-
pretty high.
It's $500. We have 172 individuals, so that's 86,000. And then we have a surviving spouse of 700, but we don't have anyone. And then the tax credit for the service-connected disability is 2,000. We have 6 of those, so that's 12,000. So it's a total of 178. It's $98,000. So the way to look at that is that's just like another line item in the budget, because we have to raise and appropriate the money to offset that. So just anecdotally, I'll go back and check, but since I've been here, because I keep track of any veterans credits that have been denied, or elderly exemptions, or like with an elderly exemption that's been denied, we return everything, but we have been keeping a file.
Oh,
I can
great.
Go back through and see how many we have, but I'd say on average, I mean, and this is high, I would think maybe 3 to 5 have been denied each year. You just don't get that many, so.
It's enough to make me cringe, but you figure the population of 3,600, that's kind of a lot.
Okay, so where some towns, when they calculate it out, your larger towns, it's a large chunk of change.
So if it's a law, why do we have to put it on the warrant?
Because to amend or change these credits and exemptions, it has to be
Our ordinance.
voted on by the people. I believe it has to be on the official ballot,
Okay,
not just the regular warrant.
okay.
So the only way to get things on the official ballot would be we could petition it, but it's that subject matter, I believe, has to go on the official ballot.
Joyce, did you say it includes surviving spouse? Of I mean, it's not somebody that was killed in action or anything, it's just,
I don't
Forever.
have the statute in front of me. I used to know all that, but
A veteran is a veteran.
Yeah.
If they were killed in action, he's still a veteran.
Do you know there's some municipalities
but
out
if-
there?
if somebody,
So if I was a
let's
veteran
say-
and I own more than one piece of property, and I got a veteran's tax credit in that other town, they wouldn't let you get a tax credit in their town for the other piece of property.
the surviving spouse of any
But not
person who
now.
was killed or died
They
while
have
on
to
active
put it on
duty in the armed forces. of the
okay,
United States.
while on active duty, okay.
Yeah, the standard credit is
That's right.
$700, but the towns could go up to $2,000. And the standard credit for the veterans is $50, but the towns can go up to $500. So our town is, and same with the tax credit for service-connected total disability the standard is $700, but our town chose to go up to the $2,000. And that one is any person who's been honorably discharged from the military service of the United States and who has total and permanent service-connected disability, or who is a double amputee or paraplegic because of service-connected injury.
So, yeah, that's what I thought. It covers for somebody who was killed in action, their spouse would be.
Good news is, we now have 5 people. We have a full zoning board, no alternates. We're continuing to look to alternates, but we do have a full board, and in your to-be-signed is the last one. And I don't know if you wanted to meet this gentleman, or...
Any of them been sworn in?
4 have been sworn in, this is the last one.
Nice.
So when I went and looked at our, as soon as they're all sworn in, we are to contact the court, because we had a stay. It says that our matter before the court's been stayed pending the constitution of a full ZBA by the town of Tilton, and that it is the responsibility of the petitioner's counsel to notify the court when the ZBA is constituted and to suggest a potential course of action at that time.
I still don't get why why the new folks would be going to court and not the people that made the decision would be going to court to justify that decision.
Thank you.
Because they're not empowered to go to court on behalf of the town, because we all resign.
But
They have no legal standing.
So what does the new board do? Just go, oh, you know what? We're going to
We changed
reverse
our
that
mind.
decision just because we don't want to mess with it.
No, I think most likely what will happen is the judge will remand it back to the new board.
Which is
And
ridiculous.
they get up to speed and they look at the whole thing.
And we're paying all that money for that.
But we chose to go to court.
I don't think of
It wasn't-
I don't think any of us
Work out like
understood this was the criteria.
We all resigned. Yeah, we didn't think it would go this far.
No, I don't think I don't think any of us understood that the court, that it was the new board that we were going to be
Makes no sense.
up against. It makes absolutely no sense at all.
It-
I think we all thought this fight was going to
How are we
be.
going to get relief?
But
There's no...
They should have called back the board that made the decision.
they're not
You were
town
in power
officials.
at the
They can't,
time.
they
Here's
can't
your
represent the
decision.
town.
Okay,
Defend
well,
it.
they're not gonna do that, so what are we do now?
So...
Well, then if they, okay, then at that point, then they lose the case, if they don't want to represent themselves.
Yeah, but the court doesn't wanna do that, they
Well,
wanna,
that's unfair to the...
Let's just say we had a smart ZBA that got out of it easy.
don't we have a
No,
lawyer?
No, they were behaving like little kids. They didn't get their way, so they took their toys and went home.
Don't we have a lawyer on staff that can handle this for us?
I don't know that he's versed in land use law. He may
We
be.
hired a lawyer to take care of this.
Yes.
He's saying we had a lawyer on.
We own a lawyer now.
We
Why would we
paid a
pay
lawyer.
extra?
We have a lawyer right now.
And it seems like the
thinking of
meter
using
runs
someone
on that
else.
one, right?
Gonna jump ship midstream?
I'll jump right into the water.
We hired this attorney because the other attorney wasn't attorneyed yet.
Well, he is now.
Oh, I see what you're saying
And they
now.
have a whole new board to deal with.
If we just get remanded back.
Getting ready for our tax bills, which hopefully will have a warrant next week. I was hoping to have it following week, because I knew that this is election week and the holiday and what have you. But Cindy insists that she wants it this week.
She wants it after the election, right?
She wants it Wednesday.
Wait until after.
She wants it Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, we don't meet till Thursday. How are we going to get it to
We're not.
Wednesday?
We're not. It's going to be approved on Thursday night. She knows
Well,
this.
you'll have the tax rate.
Right, but her warrant is not going to get approved until Thursday night.
She can have the
Or our
Thursday
warrant.
night.
Okay, Thursday night, okay. Well, then Friday's a holiday.
Right.
So I tried to explain to her, you're gonna come in Friday and...
Yeah, so
Picture
just let
that.
her know. Any Thursday night, we're available to sign the warrant.
We had talked about this
Thanksgiving.
after the first issue bill. These are two, it's one property. This is the land on High Street that I did not remove the exemption code. I did not put on an exemption code. If I had put on an exemption code, because the town owns it, it would not generate a tax bill. In the past, I've always kept the property just as it was because we always sell it.
Right.
So this is one that we hung on to, so Cindy wants it off the books, so that's 2 tax years.
So if we pay the tax bill, that goes on to the price of the property when we sell it, correct?
Yes, it's just easier, because usually we turn them around so quickly, it's easy just to keep it right on the tax rolls. So by designing that, I can get more permission to go ahead and put the
How much is the bill?
amount should be right on there.
It makes it easier for her, but how does it affect
So
you?
it should, but I don't see it.
Doesn't make a difference.
Doesn't make any difference.
It's just that
She's not
it,
talking to me.
you don't forget about it. You don't, it's real easy to forget about it.
The amount's not on it.
I was gonna say, can you tell me where the amount is? I don't see.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I didn't attach that. I'm sorry.
Oh, can you give me a
It's not very much.
ballpark?
It's, I think the last time we updated the spreadsheet on that, including the assessment penalty, it was about, I don't know, $15,000. So we want to add on,
The tax bill was $15,000?
it's 2 years. Because not only was it the original lien, we've got 15 and 16. Because you keep adding the taxes to it.
And interest,
And penalty.
and the big
So
penalty.
if we abate these taxes, we can't collect it when we sell it,
No, we can still collect it when we sell it.
even if
Just
we've abated?
changed, didn't it?
Okay.
Because the way the law is written is we can collect any taxes that would be owed through the date of sale with interest.
How much more do you have?
Chase, didn't, on the tax bill,
Okay. Pardon me?
on the tax bill, didn't the amount that we charge change or something, didn't the
Yes,
legislatures?
the former owner that's purchasing it, they're only,
Okay, so that doesn't apply to this, but, okay.
all right, this would be my non-public. We did mock election. That's non-public, and Tim's when you're ready.
Should we talk about this person in non-public?
No one will know who it is, so sure.
Okay, because I don't know who it is.
Live on Shady Lane. Well, then, can we have him come in? Would you like to meet him?
If we don't know anything about him, yeah.
Does anyone know?
With regard to what specifically?
Dari has spoken with him,
Oh.
and I've spoken with him. I have never met him, but he's new to the area, wants to get involved in the town and see what he can...
The zoning board,
Marriage, this individual.
the zoning board is one area that people can come in
We don't know that either.
with personal agendas and cause a lot of problems.
Wing nut.
Well, so far, all these people, so far, are all new to the town.
There's one person that's joined
Oh, that one, yes,
That-
yes,
I'm a little bit concerned about.
yes.
Well, I'll just ask them to come in and meet us.
Okay.
All right, can you meet that back?
Yeah, bare minimum, I think you should come in and say hello.
Let me just check this real quick. The highway department's gonna fix that candy cane vent outside where there's holes, and I remember the name, Hoey.
Yes.
And I sent out, by law, I have to send out open enrollment forms to all employees, even our part-time employees that work at least 32 hours a week. Actually, yes, 32 hours a week. But since we haven't re-upped with our current plans, I had to give them our current information. And I sent a cover letter explaining, I have to send you this letter. These are the plans that we offer now. There's a 5.3% increase, and that the selectmen are looking at plans and the amount of premium co-payments, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can, so that there'll be more than enough time to make any changes prior to the end of open enrollment. And so far, I haven't received any calls. This is a standard letter that we send out to people every year. And I also mentioned in the letter that, reminding them about the opt-out. And then the rest would be solid waste and non-public.
The only other thing on, when it comes to payroll and that, how are people doing for using their time up so it doesn't get lost or scheduling? You doing pretty good?
So doesn't he send those to everybody?
This is non-public?
There's not going to be anybody coming in and saying, asking to carry over because...
I know there's no one in admin or the Public Works Department, and the ones that are high at the PD usually plan to use that time before the end of the year. There's a couple that are right up there.
There has been a reminder sent out at the PD also on both comp time and pay time off. What can we carry over this year?
Yeah, what they can carry over, what they can purchase.
Good. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Remember, we did change the policy that part-time employees can carry over some.
Well, here we go again. Must be a new year, MetroCast goes up again.
Oh, every year? Every year?
Every single year since they've been in business. Should be ashamed of themselves. Okay, Alan, we're ready for you. You may not be ready for us, but we're ready for you.
Possibly you could get a little competition for MetroCast to come through.
We can't.
Of course we can.
We've tried.
Anybody can come in here, and they're subject to the exact same terms as MetroCast, Comcast, any of them.
Yeah, let them,
But it would cost them millions of dollars in a losing industry,
and then they won't do it.
and they just won't invest the money.
Right.
Some of the poles, they can't even string on, because the poles are full. So they have to replace the pole, which just
Satellite's the
adds
way
to
to
the
go.
expense.
Already said this.
It just is what it is. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay, so, I talked to Alan, I don't know, Friday last week. Told him that we would like him to address the situation with the drainage. The only way to correct that would be an under drain at that time. And then it would be at the cost of you. And you had concerns, so talk to us.
I agreed with this board. You were here. I think you were here some 4 or 5 years ago to go in with the drainage, which is going to go straight into, as I understood it, between the two buildings, underground, and everything was going into that. So I would like to know when that is being started.
Never.
The state will not allow us to tie into that drain.
We've never gotten permission from the district engineer to drill a hole into that catch basin and pipe our drainage into it.
Okay, so
Otherwise, it would be an easy fix.
what happened between that? I mean, this is the first I'm hearing that.
Well, we've never been able to do. We had talked about a project that would have channeled all that water away, but it would have had to have gone into the catch basin, and that was proposed to us by a contractor. But we could not get the previous engineer and the current one to agree. It's the state's drainage system. It's an old catch basin. They don't want us drilling holes through it. In fact, in this project, they put a sleeve in it.
I
It's an
can
old brick.
appreciate that, but I mean, I'm still sitting in the back of my mind that this is what's happening. And no one has come back to me saying this project is not happening, and so.
Well, at the time,
When
the
you do
project
your
was
reps.
speculative. it wasn't a definite thing. It was speculative.
Okay. You know, everything in life is speculative.
Well, yes, but we were talking about, well, the contractor was talking about funneling into somebody else's drainage system. So,
But there's a potential fix for this, right?
Right.
well, there's a Band-Aid.
Well, we could put, you saw that you have two now coming down, right?
The other, one of them was supposed to be on the other side. I'm apologizing. I mean, any which way you look at it, the same amount of water is going on the road, on the sidewalk. So, a couple of fixes, I can take the gutters back off. And then that alleviates the water problem.
Sort of.
Someplace else. because
Sort
the
of,
problem
yeah.
there.
Well,
But not really.
Well, you'd
it
have
alleviates the
to,
water problem.
no, you'd still have to channel the water on this side of your building away from our building, because we had that issue. The water coming off that building was drilling holes into
I wouldn't,
cars.
that gutter was always there. We didn't replace that gutter between.
No, it was that little wall thing that you took off.
What?
It was like a little shelf thing run across there. But our Public Works Director has suggested we just take the two downspouts, because as you said, it's gonna go someplace, whether it's this side or that side. And actually, it's better it's on
You know, I
this
mean, It
side.
was always going on the sidewalk before, so
The one, yes, it was.
all the water off of that roof over
So-
there actually went on the sidewalk. It didn't come back into the building.
So the suggestion is to connect the, bring them down, connect them to one, and put an under drain, the length of this sidewalk in front of Town Hall, stones, wrap.
What kind of price are we looking at here?
Well, Public Works would put it in. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you've
we-
already said you're gonna bill me.
Public Works would put it in, and then it would be the cost of the pipe, and
Yeah, it's really cost. I mean,
it's the cost of
charge-
You know, I
we could
don't-
charge your contractor rates at $100 an hour.
Yeah, you could. I mean, it's just
It's
like
a
I told
perforated
Pat, you
pipe.
start nickel and diming me, you see a different alley.
Yeah, no, this is,
We're
it's
not out
just,
to nickel
I
and
will
dime
go
you
back
out.
into a little story back in Bermuda, where it's a historical site, it's a UNICEF site, and I put a PVC window in, because PVC lasts for 50 years. Wooden windows last for 5. On the
I
building, I got told to remove it and put a wooden window in. So I did put a piece of plywood in and plastered it in. 20 years later, that piece of plywood is still plastered in there, and that's my window.
that story. I like that story.
You know, I don't mind helping. I have invested a lot of time and money into this town, and I want to see this town succeed. I want to see the historical part of Tilton that dates back to the 1700s to come back and be a destination. So I don't mind
Materials are cheap in this
helping out with the
project.
materials. I don't like getting phone cord calls at all.
I don't know how many guys he put on the project, but it's really cost. No profits made on this, just cost.
Do you have any idea on the cost?
Well,
of this guy?
PVC and wrap, fabric, stone,
Well, it's perforated pipe,
perforated pipe.
probably
so
4-inch.
4-inch,
I
yeah.
think, oh, he'd use 6-inch, wouldn't he?
He did say 6-inch, yes.
6-inch?
I did speak to him the other day, I met him the other day, and I spoke to him.
So it would be the pipe coming down and then one going out. He was here earlier. I tell you, I forgot even to give me an estimate of what PVC pipe would be.
PVC's
What the
cheap.
hell is that?
PVC's cheap.
And it would be the fabric, stone and fabric. I mean, that's what we're doing.
You're probably not buying expensive PVC, you're getting
Perforated,
Right.
bunch of stone, wrap it.
which I don't have a problem with.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've got money in
So
the-
$79 for 100 feet of
To succeed.
Flooring.
drainage pipe, but he probably would use, I think he'd use the rigid.
6.
What is,
Go back down.
back up?
I'm shopping at Lowe's.
He would, yeah.
I think he would
It-
use this,
I've already done it for my yard at home.
Yeah,
so
10 feet for $9.
but that's a 4-inch, so you're probably looking, you know.
it's-
And we're digging up the sidewalk anyway.
You're right,
Yeah.
the labor to dig
We're
up the
hoping.
sidewalk is already, we're digging up the sidewalk. That's being, once the sidewalk's up, that's when the drain's gonna go in. The same time, we're also gonna try to put a PVC for electric out there as well for the trees, but, so that part is gonna be taken care of, but
How far down are you going with the PVC for the lights and hopefully with some kind of forward vision of nice lanterns on Main Street? Obviously, the
Didn't think of that.
cobwebs
Only has to
above
be 18 inches.
the streets are not going to happen anytime in the next 20 years, seeing that
I've been shooting for that for the last 6 years. The cost is horrendous, and where does the money come from? Therein lies the problem. If you can find some bucks, not you personally, but where can we go? Chief of
I mean,
Police has been working this angle for a long time.
you've got grants,
So far, it hasn't covered the expense.
Right.
So far.
I believe Josh, when we were out there, when he came last Friday, he was 2 feet, 18 to 2 feet, 18 inches.
18 inches is spec.
Right.
or
To go on, down.
Conduit, underground electric conduit.
of 18 inches, yeah, 18 inches.
Yeah. But where he would come out, I think, actually...
He's gonna come
goes
into
in
the
between-
building.
Right, in between 18 and 24,
He's gonna come into the building,
over by the
and
bulkhead.
then we'll figure out over downtown some other time, but it's easier and quicker for him to just put it in, what do they call them, those Arlington stakes? They have the outlets in them, it's a square box. I mean, you could run PVC up, it'll be kind of ugly, but these are actually boxes. When they go into the ground, conduit goes over to them, there's your outlet, and it's all weather tight. And tap it into the building.
Which would be fantastic for downtown.
Yeah.
I mean, we need some life into downtown.
I mean, the solar lights are okay, but they just haven't made that technology so that they're fabulous. I mean, it's like,
They would be if you can get a solar panel up there and that kills the whole tree.
And the light strings themselves don't last.
you know, it's a darn fire marshal, he just hated those extension cords that were extending out the second story right doesn't take to the poles.
Oh, come on.
I walked with him that day.
Rude.
He was speechless. Those have to come down right now.
I think some of my other concern is investing in downtown and the future investing is where does the town see, where does the board see the town in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? You know, if things aren't going to change, then we're going to have empty storefronts and a ghost town, and we can roll the tumbleweeds down, up and down Main Street.
We used to have a downtown association. I thought it was pretty successful at the time. They did things like put out flowers, and they had stuff, and they had a downtown days and everything.
He was a part of it.
And no, you weren't here.
Oh, it disbanded.
Just disbanded when you came on?
Oh, it disbanded about 5 years ago.
And there's money left in it.
Been here, though.
There was
It's
there was
still
money left in it.
As far as I know.
No. 7,000.
What did they do with that money?
7? There's $7,000
You've
in
been
it.
here long enough that people don't know how long you've been here.
How long have you been here? I thought you were here 5 years.
We've been open 6 years.
There. There you go.
August. So it was pretty much so disbanded by the time I got here.
Yep.
And I keep talking it up and down the street when I talk to people, and I can't find somebody to drive the bus. You want to drive the bus? Go talk with Billy Lawrence. He has a wealth of knowledge about what happened, who was involved, and he can point you in the right direction.
He should be a part of it.
He was.
He is a business in downtown, and one that would be horrendous if it ever left this town.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I'd be a
glad
part
to
of it
help you
again.
out, but it's got to come from the merchants.
I'd be a part
It
of it
really
again,
does.
right? I
It was
would.
funded, though, it was a special state program.
Yeah, that wasn't associated with town. But
We,
the Main Street program
Main
was,
Street was-
it was a federal program.
To that, though, did we not?
yes, we did, it was in the budget,
We budgeted for a specific item in it,
there you go.
portion.
and then
they-
we stopped
And they did
budgeting.
present their financials to us every year, so those are probably available. If you need any of them.
If I work with you, and can we look at possibly getting a grant to get the wires underground?
I will help you in any way I can, and I'll bring the chief of police, who's very interested in this as well. If you want to go over and talk with Billy Lawrence, I'd be glad to go with you. Because if we get one more nail salon on downtown, we'll be the capital of the world.
I might just go and open one up just for you, so we can be the capital of the world.
Nail capital of the world.
Well, there's a pub coming, so
Hey, I appreciate every business downtown, but I
Me too.
certainly would like to increase the participation of everybody in the downtown. How do you address the parking and all those telephone poles? It's a safety issue too. How do the trucks get past those wires? If there's the fire down here above clocking in, how do they rescue people? I mean, I don't know. I don't
think
know
of
the
that.
answer to this, but I'll help you.
You
You
can never
bet.
get a ladder, could you?
You know, I just think it would really turn, and possibly I haven't talked to the right people, but some people that I have talked to, when I first got here, you've got a river that runs through downtown. Why isn't this a destination and capitalizing
A big asset, right? Potentially.
big asset where both Tilton and Northfield can make a very high-end, from bridge to bridge walkway around?
The Main Street did have that proposal. Remember when they presented that?
yes, they did.
They were gonna build part of it down at that
IT
end.
Hop, right?
And all
Well,
I got was
they
excuses of why we
proposed
couldn't
to,
have it,
potentially.
and answers of how do we get it done.
They proposed it, but they just,
I'd love to help.
they would have had to have attached it to buildings,
Yeah.
the backside of
You,
buildings.
you need the buildings to be a part of it. You need the merchants to be a part of it. You need the merchants to buy into it.
And there was going to be a rotary right out here.
We even talked about
I'm in on that one
changing
too,
the
right
traffic.
before someone dies.
Nobody's ever died there. Everybody says that. But you can't because of the monuments. You
Put
can't
them in
get,
the middle of the rotary.
you can't get rid of the monuments. You'd have to have one giant rotary to accommodate the
When
monuments.
townspeople vote to move the monuments?
Pardon?
When the townspeople vote to move the monuments?
Not the veterans.
Why? Is that a state monument?
Pardon?
Is it a state monument?
It's a historical thing. They already checked into it.
Well, we have lots
There's a
of
will,
things we
there's a
can
way,
check
and we
on.
don't want to lose the monuments. We might have to move them 10 feet, and lose them.
Don't need, you've already got a rotary out there without having a darn rotary.
No, but no one goes around it.
No, they don't.
And nothing is
They
going to
go,
be solved
they go
tonight.
the British way around it.
Actually, I think it works pretty well. Slows traffic
Oh, I
down.
think it's a cluster. Oh, I
Just don't hit your
shut my
brake.
mouth
If
right
you hit your
there.
brake, then you lose.
Cluster,
I
we'll
think
just
it
go
works well.
cluster.
We've never had a major accident out there.
I think everybody knew it.
But in 60 years, everybody comes in and says that.
Touch wood.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Okay.
So got answers?
I-
We'll get back to you with...
I will more than gladly assist in that,
Thank you very much.
putting that in.
It's good for everybody concerned.
It is.
Water going across the sidewalk, basically in front of your place where people could slip and fall after coming out, enjoying a fine dinner and a nice bottle of wine, can't be good for you either.
That's why I salt the sidewalk as well as the town salts the sidewalk. That's why I'm out there chipping the ice up.
This should
Well,
alleviate,
as-
this should help alleviate a lot of that.
Yes,
Once we get this,
Hopefully,
hopefully.
It's all water. any runoff.
I did see a split in the water when that rain came down, right in between the two drains. It's like the gutter came out at the top. I meant to tell you that.
One of the new ones?
Yes.
He hasn't been paid yet, so.
Right between the,
He'll be back then.
right between the two downspouts, where it joins at the top.
But anything, I'll meet up with you at another time.
Sure. You have my card, right?
I'll
You can
help in
call my
any way.
cell.
So I would love to see this town become a destination. You know, there's other merchants, Jess, that is.
Other than Harley Davidson's.
What you talking about, Willis?
I don't
There was
My
mind.
cell phone
There was a
anytime.
plan about 20 years ago to put all the power underground.
Yeah, I remember they went through.
Would have been a little cheaper then.
Town clerk, Gail. Twombly, thank you, was doing it. And the selectmen wouldn't entertain putting it, I wasn't a selectman then, but they wouldn't entertain bringing it before the voters. But if they'd bonded it over 20 years,
We'd have paid it off by now and had a lovely down.
you know, $90,000 is what sticks in my mind.
What kind of price are we looking at now? 1
Yeah.
Oh, millions.
$1.
$1.5 million, $1.2 million. That was the
Gotta
last,
dig up the
that's what Main
road
Street
and
was.
get all the utility, and if you require one, you gotta require all.
All of them.
Well, they'd all have to go under the ones that.
That's right.
Right.
I think they were looking at running them along the back of the buildings, too. Running the wires up back.
That'd be even
That was-
more expensive.
Yeah.
Well, I think Gail's
And then tapping
project,
in.
part of the electricity was gonna go down Center Street, but you're still at the other side of Main Street. That would have had to have gone down Main Street.
But I would
Look
love
at
to
it.
discuss it with you.
Try and figure out how we do it instead of having all the excuses why it can't get done.
Well, I know why it hasn't been done, but that doesn't mean it can't or it should be done. I believe it should be done. It would be great to have a nice
You
walk.
bond that over a period of years, and it's not such a hit. And like you said, there's probably
I got ideas
grants.
on taxes too. That a lot of companies in this town make an awful lot of money
There's some grants out there.
and the grants, so.
The utility company
And I'm not one of the
themselves.
ones that are making an awful lot of money.
Well, all those business taxes you pay, town doesn't see a penny. Don't goes to the state.
Right, that's good.
Business enterprise tax, business profits tax, we don't get that money.
Not your money, pay all that tax.
That's the money we get. That's the only money we get.
Thanks, Alan, for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
She's not up.
Always a pleasure.
Joyce, do you still have more to,
No, just a non-public.
Okay.
Then we have he's got transfer and
so we got to do the tax rates?
Should I sit in when the time comes? I get a head start.
No,
You can call Joyce in the morning, she'll tell you.
just remember, you already committed to it.
You know,
Hold on, I'm gonna send it down. You're welcome.
Abatement.
So this is my recommendation. I went through, and this is just a printout of the calculator that you have online, and it's updated for these figures that are shown here. But basically, we're looking, I went through and I met with the department heads, I looked through their budgets, I looked at where I thought we had the biggest opportunities, where I thought we'd end up. I queried them all on what additional expenses we would have, and the net of it is that we will put in more than $100,000 in fund balance, depending upon the end of year spending. So I felt comfortable with the $175,000.
You came up, I'll come down.
I did
Make
meet
a
with-
motion.
oh.
To use $175,000 from the unreserved fund balance to pay down the tax rate.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All those in
Please.
favor?
Yes?
Yes.
Opposed?
I don't want to, yeah, I'm opposed to that. I don't want to use that much money to, I think we should budget differently.
We haven't even got to the budget yet.
No, and that's what this is all about. I mean, it's because we don't. I mean, if you look at so if you look at the total appropriation for 2016, and try to reduce that. Try to raise less. Which means you're going to cut, budgets, you're going to cut warrant articles, no more wish things, no more.
85% of the number that I came up with, I can attribute either directly to personnel or personnel-related lines. So,
So we have 15% of our budget is discretionary spending.
no, but I'm talking about the monies that I identified for going into fund balance. I'm not talking, as a whole for the year, our budget is usually around 64%, 65% personnel and personnel-related.
And so you're not going to have that next year,
That's right.
because we have more employees. We've made adjustments. That's not going to happen next year. It'd be very odd. So we're using it up now.
We are going to contribute a healthy balance.
Excellent.
Yeah, but if you look at the increases in wages we've made this year, the effect it's going to have next year, you're going to need $250,000 to reduce
Well,
the tax rate if we don't.
I do that every year for 5 years.
Well, I anticipate, well, we did use 240 last year. I anticipate that we'll still be near 700,000 of fund balance at the end of next year. And of course, that all depends on, how we end up the year, but if it goes according to how I think it's going
I
to.
just think that we have to spend
Okay, so
more attention to the budget and appropriations rather than counting on fund balance to reduce. Don't raise it in the first place.
Point taken.
ta-da! And if we raised it and didn't spend it, we give it back. That's the other side.
Sounds like a plan.
Excellent.
Let's see if we can do it. It's tough.
Yes.
Okay.
4-1.
If I could direct you to, also, I sent out a memo to the board regarding a fund balance policy. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it, but I've made some revisions to it. But essentially, what it does is it gives you a guideline by which you can prioritize how you want for the town of Tilton to use fund balance, how you want to address taxes, that sort of thing. So if you haven't seen it, I'd take a look at it. Joyce went through it and made some good suggestions, so I'll be modifying that. But I think it would be a good idea. A lot of towns have these policies. The big caveat is that you can change it at any time, of course, but at least it gives you a framework from which you're agreeing to, these are our priorities, these are how we're going to proceed, and barring unforeseen circumstances, this is what to accomplish. And then it also gives us, in administration, a better idea of, of what we're looking at year end, and how the board would want to act as with respect to fund balance and tax rate. So I just wanted to direct you to that, but I will be updating it because there are some edits to make. The real meat is on, I think, the last page. It's down.
I couldn't find it. I'll look at home.
Well, it does reference all the RSA's.
When did you send it?
This week. So if you were to look in your email under fund balance,
25.
it was on the 28th. Tilton BOS proposed fund balance policy.
It's in your drive.
Oh,
Or email.
It's an email
either way.
as well.
Yep.
that's the rectangle, right?
Yep.
Come on, come on,
That's
come on.
what's under, just put up in the circle and search under fund balance. come up.
So, I mean, you don't have to go through it now, but
Thank God.
I thought it would be useful, a useful thing to have for next year. And like I said, the real meat of it is towards the end, where it goes through the priorities. So we'll use 175.
All right, next. That was a vote, it was, motion passed. Let the record show it was 4-1. Okay. Now we talk about trash, right?
Yes.
Garbage.
I do. So, Joyce and I spent a better part of 2 days on nothing but garbage and recycling. We've spoken with Casella, we've spoken with Lake Region Disposal, and we've spoken with Northeast Resource Recovery Association, or NRRA, including the executive director there. All were very helpful. Got a lot of good information. We made some progress based on what was asked of us last week. Well, that's what I was wondering. Yeah. So I have some figures here, but I think these these might, Joyce and I were thinking these might be non-public because these are proposed contractual figures, not otherwise known.
Oh, that's definitely non-public.
So,
Make a motion, we go into a non-public, RSA 91A:3, negotiation,
Yeah, it would render...
contract,
It would render your decision
Second.
void.
right.
Well, you wouldn't be able to make the deal because people would know what...
Roll call vote,
Yes.
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 You can, no, you can stay, you stayed the last one, right?
A gift of a pizza party from Franklin Savings Bank. It's for all town employees
Seal the minutes of the non-public session
and elected
as they
officials.
pertain to personnel issues
It's random.
permanently and as they pertain to negotiations until such time as the negotiations are complete.
Second. Nice motion.
I've been doing this a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I make a motion to graciously accept a pizza party donated from Franklin Savings Bank to all town employees
Yeah!
and
When?
elected officials.
I just have to tell them the date, so I figure Wednesdays are good days, because some people don't work Mondays, some don't work Fridays, so do Wednesday and sooner than later. But
Sure,
you
make
do
it
it
so
next
number
Wednesday.
one.
Yeah, I'll be here next Wednesday, so we'll do it
If-
next Wednesday.
During the
All I have
day?
to do is give her a count. Yeah, just give
If
her a
there's anything
count.
left over, you can leave for the budget
And we
committee
will leave
Wednesday
for the
night,
Budget committee, yes.
Next Wednesday is
for the other elected officials.
It's the what?
the 16th.
Yes.
No,
You out of town?
it's the night.
Yeah, I hope it's the 9th.
This isn't, oh yeah, because today's
It's a
only, yeah.
The 8th would be Tuesday, so.
Okay.
Night. I'm like, yeah. Okay, so I'll tell her, and all I have to do is give her a count, and I figured I just kind of counted it up, because I don't think, some people won't come. I was gonna say 60.
60 what?
People.
Really? You really think
That
we
many?
could get 60 people?
Well,
Well, if you do, fine. I mean,
if you count like budget committee and,
Conservation.
They're not elected.
Oh, that's right.
moderator, you got your supervisor, the checklist, you've got your
okay.
your treasurer.
You don't have to count them out. It just seemed like a surprising
Well, I counted the
number.
actual people was 56,
Well, there you go.
so 56.
Yay.
Okay.
You actually counted all that. We do have 56.
Well, employees and elected officials, right?
Wow.
57, we just signed the thing.
Well,
us appointed, well, it could be appointed officials too, but the people that generally day-to-day, like the sewer commissioner,
Yeah.
that, that handle, it's their way of thanking the town for giving them business, because we, I don't even know what he said. I don't even want to know.
This one, yes.
No, not only either, because it has, well, you know what in it,
Oh, well, there you go.
right?
I get it.
I'm not touching it.
All right,
Okay,
so,
so we'll try
time
for
of
next
giddy.
Wednesday, and if it isn't convenient for her to do Wednesday, we'll do the following Wednesday. Because you're not going to be here?
the following Wednesday I will be.
The following, you'll be gone.
The 23rd, I'll be here. 16th, I won't.
Okay, well, we'll save you.
23rd of November?
In peace.
It's the
All
day
right,
before
we'll
Thanksgiving.
wrap it really
Yeah.
good.
Want to do it then?
All right.
A lot of people won't be here.
Is there any more business to come before us in a public?
I have two things. Number one is happy birthday to you, Selectman Scanlon.
Thank you.
Birthday to
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear John.
Donut cake.
Happy birthday to you. And
Thank you.
many more.
Thanks for,
And
Nice card, Gail.
I don't want to
those
gloss
are my
over
favorite
that,
kind of
but
donuts.
motion to adjourn. Second. Vote with your feet.
I have a question for Joyce. Everybody, there's a lot of